Hey, everybody, it's Christian Bigglesworth from Q92 Sports, another edition of The Locker Room, the YouTube series we do here for Q92 Sports, talking to area high school football, basketball players. It's the off season, but there's never really an off season in a high school football season, and we are talking little EBC football here during this episode. We're going to be talking some Marlington football. We're going to be speaking with Marlington's quarterback, Bryson Mccord, is going to be joining us right now on the show here today. And Bryson, first of all, thanks for taking the time, man. How you doing today?
Good. How about yourself?
We're doing all right, man. Before we get into everything, man, how we feeling? Obviously, we know the injury. We'll talk more about that here in a couple minutes. But the rehab, as far as everything getting going, how are you on track for everything to be full go for fall?
Yep. I'm just 2 weeks ago. I got cleared to start slowly throwing. So like right now I'm at like 15 yards.
Okay.
It builds every week. So next week hopefully I'll be at 20, and then 30, 40, and then we're back to full go, throwing routes and everything. So about a month and a half I'll be good to go fully.
Now, are you listening to the doctors? Or are you trying to push it a little bit? Like what's the pace you're at here?
Well, it's just very like it's a hard process because I being out of everything for the last 5 months doing nothing. I'm a big love playing pickup basketball. So I've not been able to play pickup or anything. Just been sitting around, and so it's been very impatient. But I've been dealing with it, and just doing like little things like getting on the bike and just like little lifts and just slowly getting back into it.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about last season. Coach Joe Cardinal comes in, and it's his first season with you guys. You met him in the off season, basically in the middle of the off season.
Yeah.
And to go from a 1-win team to a 6-win team in 2023. Can you just talk for a little bit about what it was like from when Coach Cardinal first came in, first met with you guys as a team to the end of the season? Because it just seemed like, man, anytime I talked to any one of you kids from Marlington, it seemed like Coach Cardinal just shot you guys with a bunch of energy in that entire football program. Can you just talk for a little bit about what it was like your first year under him?
Yeah, he came in from the start and said that we weren't a 1-9 team. He watched all the film, and we knew we weren't a 1-9 team. And from day one, he said that we weren't a 1-9 team, and he just wanted to win. Like his urge to win and our urge to win just all kind of connected and combined. And you see how the season went. But like he's not like I was thinking back the June we had camps, and Cardinal's not more of like he's not a yeller. He's like a chill dude. But the one time we were slacking off in practice and coming off 2 good practices, we started slacking third day, and he started off real calm and then just let it go and just yelled at us and like, you guys are still a 1-9 team, and you guys can't there's no rest days. Like you're so much better than 1-9 team. And you guys got to prove it, and you got to work like it.
And it seemed like that it just seemed infectious, especially as the season went on. When you look at last year, Warrensville Heights, the big win over Northwest, Akron Manchester, the win over Warren JFK, 4 out of the first 5. I mean, is it something where just the I don't know how to explain it, but like just the adrenaline and the enthusiasm and the positivity just kept growing as the season went on with you guys as a team?
Yeah. Yeah, so like me and Cardinal talk about it to this day is because we go back and watch the games from last year, and truly, if you lose that Warrensville game, we don't know how the season turns out. Yeah. Because you start out 1-0 at home against Warrensville, who is a very underrated team. Their record doesn't say what team they are. They play some big schools and good schools, but I mean they're the most like one of the best defenses I played all year for sure. But like if we don't win that game, or like beat Northwest, like how does the season turn out? You know what I mean?
Right.
All the energy just kept on building and building and building.
So we look ahead now. Things were going great. You got an EBC play, and then of course that hit in the West Branch game where you got injured and then missed most of that game in the final 3 games of the season. Take me back. Did you know something was really wrong the second you took that hit? Or was it something where you got up and then you're like immediately, did you know this is not good?
A lot of adrenaline. At first it was kind of like, I didn't think I was going to be able to come back in the game. Yeah. I mean, I felt it. It was, I didn't think it was what it was going to be. because the whole plan was I was going to sit out against Minerva, kind of give me a week and kind of sit against Minerva, and then I'll be back for Salem and Alliance. And then after Minerva, went back to practice against Salem, started slowly working into it. And I didn't really say much. I will say I didn't really say much to trainers. I was just kind of like trying to play. I just wanted to do anything to play. And I'm throwing, and it hurt a lot, and it just wasn't right. I wasn't throwing right. I couldn't throw far or anything. It was no velo and nothing.
Right.
And our trainer, Jen, who's a really good trainer, noticed, and she's like, if you're not telling me stuff. And then finally I just realized, like, I mean, I got to get better. Like, I'm not going to benefit the team by being able to throw 20 yards. Like, it's not going to do us any good. So I went to get my MRI, and we thought it was a labrum tear, but it ended up just being like little tears all around, which is why I couldn't throw. So yeah, it was.
It's what it was. So we got the surgery, rehab, and we're on pace to be ready to go for week 1 at Warrensville Heights of this season. But still, before the injury, Bryson, 108 for 186, 1,400 yards, over 1,400 yards, 16 touchdown passes to 6 interceptions. I mean, the offense was rolling, and it's clear that Coach Cardinal was letting the offense loose and letting you throw. And a lot of your throws are not improvisations, but when you scramble, you're not scrambling to run. You're scrambling to find somebody downfield for a big play, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it's my sophomore year got me in a little trouble. Sometimes it's good to have your eyes downfield, but sometimes I have my eyes too downfield. Like an interception against JFK, if I'd have just tucked the ball and ran, I would never throw a pick. But but my junior year ended up turning out pretty good for me. But growing as a quarterback and being a 2-year starter helps a lot. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking to throw the ball before I start running.
Yeah. Now you look at some of your teammates who will be coming back with you this fall. I look at the wide receivers. Young Cameron Evanich was a freshman last year. He came on with 3 touchdown passes, 19 receptions. Malcolm Sawyer's 21 catches, 285 yards. Brady Keller had 15 receptions. Those 3 are coming back, and I think those 3 can have a really good season with you here in the fall. What do you think of those three? You think they can have big seasons for you guys this year?
Oh, for sure. It's not even just those 3. Our whole, because we're going pretty air raid this year because we have so many receivers. It's not because like we don't have a running back, but it's literally just because we have the depth for receivers. We have 10 receivers who could start on Friday nights, and 3 years starting at quarterback, like we know we can throw the ball, and we have the receivers to catch the ball, run routes, and very smart kids. That's the biggest thing too, is they're very smart, and Cardinal gives us a lot of independence. So if I see anything, I can audible. If guys pressing like Cameron Evanich, 6'3", runs a 4.7. If he's pressing him, fade. Like, you know what I mean? Like if they're pressing him or they're playing off, like if I see something, we can switch, and I can just look at him and we know. Like I don't even have to give anything. We can just look at each other and know that I'm going to give you run that fade, and if it's there, I'm gonna throw it.
So it's going to be even more wide open this year. Now let's talk about the EBC. I always say every year whenever I talk to anybody from the conference, I go, man, the EBC is tough, and I don't know that it gets the credit it deserves. There's some hard-nosed football played in the EBC. For the last few years, it's been a quarterback factory. If you look at some of the QBs, I mean, you got Zerbrook in Oklahoma right now. You got DeShields he's at Kent right now, and so many other good quarterbacks that are playing in the EBC. Just talk about the conference for a little bit. Now you've been in it now. This is going to be your senior year, taking on the Carrolltons, West Branches, Minerva, Salem's, and Alliance. Even Minerva, they've been getting stronger and stronger, and you can see that program's heading in the right direction. But this is a good conference for football, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's a great conference. My class is pretty good too. So all the seniors this year, it's going to be nice. Grew up playing against them, and it's never like, oh, this is a win this week. No, it doesn't. Anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. I mean, Carrollton beating Alliance, Carrollton beating us, like Carrollton come out of nowhere, and then like Salem's going to be a good football team this year. Like every single team in the conference this year is going to be solid. So I'm very excited to play them all.
You look at them and West Branch, Bryson, they've kind of had, if you look at your schedule right now, another tough schedule, both out of conference, but then ending it there with the EBC play. But West Branch, they've kind of had a stranglehold on that conference now for a few years now, and you're going to get one more crack at them coming up, and it's going to be a home game. I'm sure no game's more important than the next one. I know that, but when you look at this is going to be your last year going against some of these teams. How great would it be to get a win against a team that's been as successful as West Branch, or getting that last win against your rival Week 10 on the road at Alliance? So, I mean, there's some big games your senior year coming up.
Yeah, definitely circled on my calendar. West Branch, Alliance, even Louisville. People don't really remember, or some people don't, that Louisville is a big rival to us. So that's one of the games I'm very excited to play. But West Branch, to beat them would literally mean everything. I've grew up playing them. I've took some losses to them, unfortunately. But they're a great football team. They return almost everybody. But playing them at home, I don't know, sophomore year, I think you're at the game. For the first quarter, we had them for a second. But, Drew DeShields, that whole team, just a great football team, ended up pulling away. But, they're not unbeatable. They're not an unbeatable team.
And I think about something, too, about all the kids and coaches in this conference, the EBC, too, is there's some great rivalries. There's some intense rivalries. But there seems to be, even between the kids, there's a respect, it seems, between the kids. Like like you said, a lot of you guys all grew up together. You've been playing either against each other, even maybe together in some leagues in sports growing up. It just seems like the athletes of this conference, even though they're rivals and they're real rivals, there's a respect there, isn't there, between all the teams?
Yeah, for a good example, is I live in Alliance. I grew up in Alliance. So growing up, I grew up with all the whole Alliance football team. I know all of them. West Branch, I grew up with all of them. And so I know all these kids, and we're friends outside of football. But when it comes to that week, and messing with each other, all season just messing with each other. But that week, you're not friends.
Right.
You're not friends until the clock hits 0.
Right. All right. So in closing, man, you're feeling good. The rehab's going well. No setbacks. I mean, we're months away, but man, I tell you what, before you know it, it's going to be July, and conditioning is going to start in camp. How excited are you to just get back on the field with your brothers out there and just get going?
Words can't even explain it. Seriously, I am super excited for this season. Super excited.
And before I let you go too, man, I got to point out, man, love the shrine of jerseys behind you, man. You got jerseys from basically your entire career playing football behind you, right?
Yeah, first through 6.
You got them all hanging there right now. Remember all the – well, man, listen, it's been great covering Marlington football over the years. It's been great to cover your career. We hated it when we saw you go down last year. We're glad you're doing well, and we wish you the best and wish Coach Cardinal and all the Dukes the best. We look forward to calling your games this year, and look forward to seeing you guys tear it up air raid style.
All right, thank you.
All right, there you go. Bryson Mccord, quarterback of the Marlington Dukes, joining us here in the conference room. Q92 Sports. Have a great day, everybody.